I guess that means I just have to eat twice as much. All right. So I'm going to talk now about dehydrating. Does anybody dehydrate? Great. So, you know, some things turn out really good when you dehydrate. My favorite thing to dehydrate is beef jerky. I love to make my own beef jerky. You can save money if you get roasts, you know, your meat on sale, whether it's turkey, beef jerky, or if you hunt and you make venison or elk jerky. So I like the way my own jerky turns out. And so I make my own jerky. And then I put oxygen absorbers in the jar. And these jars are all, I cannot pop these off with my thumbs because anything that I anything that I dehydrate, I vacuum seal. So that, and I put an oxygen absorber in, and I'll cover that in just a minute, the vacuum sealing. So you'll save money if you make your own. I can't remember how much I paid for this little bag. I think $3.50 or $4, and it's 2.5 ounces. So, and some beef jerky, let's see, Tractor Supply has beef jerky. I think it's a 6 ounce. Anyhow, they have them, some of them are $15, $16 for a small per package that doesn't have, you know, it's not much bigger. I mean, meat-wise, it holds maybe 6 ounces, and you're paying $15, $16 for those. So it can be very expensive. So it's much more economical to make your own. I also make fruit leather. When I was a kid, my mother used to make it. It doesn't take a dehydrator. You can make jerky or leather outside. My mother had my dad make just trays. We put them on folding tables outside. My dad made a little net that went over the whole tray with on a riser so it wouldn't stick to the food. And where I went to high school was Bishop, California, which is near Yosemite and Death Valley, kind of between the two, Mount Whitney, Death Valley, and Yosemite. It gets to be, it's a high desert. It gets to be like 110, 114 at times in the summer. So we could literally set a tray of fruit puree out in the morning, and by evening it would be fruit leather. So it would be very, and it was dry there. We had no humidity whatsoever. So, so I've been making fruit leather with my mom since I was pretty young. And then this again is also vacuum sealed. So it's really economical, especially if you grow your own fruit. So if you have your own fruit, then it's pretty economical to make your own. Otherwise, you can buy these little strips of fruit leather, and a lot of kids. Now, these are from Aldi's, and I have to tell you, I was impressed when I read them because there is no added sugar in this. Apple puree, apple juice, pectin, lemon juice, strawberry juice, raspberry juice. There is nothing. There's no preservative in these whatsoever. So I was impressed, but it was still. I forgot. I want to say like $4 or $5 for just and they're not really big. They're from here to here. So you can save a lot of money if you dehydrate and make your own. And they make silicone trays, circle ones or square ones if you have a square. I have 4 dehydrators. So I have an Excalibur, which I consider like the gold standard because it has you can change the temperature on it, and you can also change the time. This dehydrator, you plug it in, you monitor it yourself. It's inexpensive, but you pay attention to how long you need to put the food in there. If it's dry enough, you need to test it yourself. But I can do like basil or, an herb in this dehydrator. I don't have to worry about where I wouldn't want to over dehydrate maybe my fruit leather or my jerky. So I use the Excalibur. But they make silicone flats that go in round ones and also in the square ones. So I want to show you this. These are dehydrated nectarines. Now, they're not super appealing looking. They're looking pretty dark, but I ate one yesterday and they still taste like the dehydrated nectarines that I had several years ago. Let's see, I did this in 2019, so made them in 19. It's 22 now. They are still fresh. Oh, I didn't reseal the lid, I don't think. Yeah, it looks like it's, yeah, I didn't re-vacuum seal it. So maybe because I do vacuum seal them, it stayed pretty fresh. So these are cinnamon sugar apples, and these are pears that I dehydrated. And the cinnamon makes them look a little bit darker, but they're still going to turn, and I put lemon juice on them first before I put them in the cinnamon and sugar on them. But these are so yummy. If you don't put lemon juice on them, and even if you do, these are pears, and you can see they also don't look very appetizing. I ate one yesterday. It still tastes like a pear. It's just dark. But if I was hungry, would I eat it? Absolutely. And these are actually pretty fun. Sometimes I'll just take one out and just chew on it just because it's a low-calorie snack, and I can probably chew on one for, 5-6 minutes and just take little bites of it off. So they are delicious, but it does change the color, and they are, they get hard and kind of chewy. And if you over-dehydrate, you will have bricks. So.
So how long does this stay if they're vacuum sealed?
Well,
dehydrated stuff.
Dehydrated vacuum sealed. Well, this is from 2018. So I probably get a little more time with mine because I vacuum seal them. I'll have to check my notes for dehydration. Let me look real quick.
I think it's pretty long. The stuff you buy, the food prep stuff.
Well, a lot of the times,
like 10 years or something.
well, a lot of times because they put preservatives in theirs, and that's why it stays so long. Dehydrated food, they say up to 4 years for food quality. I will tell you something. These are dehydrated beets. Now, if you open the jar, this does not have a jar that I can vacuum seal. I mean, a lid. It doesn't have a lid I can vacuum seal. So I roasted these beets first, so they're cooked, and then I dehydrated them. So they smell like roasted beets. They smell pretty good. I don't like the way they came out. They were, because I did it, well, and I put a little bit of oil in there with them. They were like bricks at first. Like I couldn't boil them back to life. So I'm not sure if I'll ever eat them, but I could feed them to my pigs if they got hungry. So I'm not gonna throw them away. I'm gonna wait till the pigs are hungry and then I'll give them to my pigs. So,
How much nutrition do you keep when you freeze dry?
oh, when you dehydrate?
Yeah, dehydrate.
Oh, I can't remember that one. Let me look at my note here too. I had it in my head, and now I can't remember.
A lot with water, so do you lose it with that?
You do lose some, yes. That's waste. Okay, dehydrating, you lose about 40% of nutritional value. So you do retain a little more nutrition when you dehydrate. So any questions, any other questions on dehydrating? Yes, sir.
On the jerky, do you cut the meat against the grain or with the grain?
Against the grain.
Okay.
Yep. Like you would a steak or
Right.
a roast,
Right.
against the grain. And I don't take all the fat off, even though the fat can go rancid. I find if I vacuum seal them, I really don't, and I eat them fast enough, I don't have them go rancid. Because the fat and the oils in the meat are what's gonna that's what makes anything go rancid. Whether it's wheat or rice or anything with an oil in it will go rancid. So jerky can go rancid. And that's because of the fat or the oil that's left in the meat. But you wouldn't want to dehydrate it until it was completely dry. That would be nasty. That'd be like salt or sand, just,
Right.
so, yes.
How would you know if it went rancid over a year or two time?
You can smell it. When you crack it open, rancid is just a foul or an off smell.
I didn't know because it was air dry,
Oh, vacuum sealed.
Right, yeah.
Right, yeah, you would know when you pop the seal. So rancid won't kill you, it just tastes bad. Yep. It's not spoiled, it's just tastes bad. Yeah, yep. So any questions on dehydrating? So you lose 40% of nutritional value when you dehydrate. 50 to 60 when you can.